Alright, Shalom. Before I start, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakorash, to honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all the elect Akim wa Akwath, learning and teaching in truth and sincerity. Another video to the spirit, your brother Malak from GMS Detroit. Hey, I'm actually out here walking, so you know, you're going to hear cars zipping by, so noisy audio. But the point of this video, y'all, hey, you see the title of this right here. It says, let some of these cars go by. The title says 10 infamous assassinations ordered by the American government. And when you know, because over the weekend, you know, I was just binge watching videos like this of America, all right, the whore that rides upon the beast, how its involvement and influence has shaped the modern day climate, all right. Any person who is ignorant to that, it's willingly so, right? When you have the head brother in England, and then you have the elder brother Ariala. They always do that World War III Algo or Aljo update, right? Talking about all the you know, the stuff going on in the geopolitical realm. Well, one of the main reasons why there is so much turmoil and what's the word I'm looking for? Instability geopolitically is because of America. For decades, they have killed leaders. They have overthrown governments. They have completely uprooted whole cultures. And when you read the scriptures, that power, it was prophesied that a kingdom would come in the last days and have that kinds of power over the world. So I'm just going to let this clip play certain parts of it and let you see, you know, just some of the governments that this place has either full-blown overthrown, you know, first-handed, or through the beast EU NATO. Because what America will also do by way of EU NATO, you know, let's say for instance if there's a country they want thrown down, obviously they can't send in American troops because that'd be full-blown war. So NATO will fund the coup d'etat of the rebellion, meaning the group that's overthrowing the main government. NATO will be supplying them with military aid and whatnot, coming through America ultimately. All right, so what kingdom was prophesied to have that kind of power over the earth, to where everybody that they encounter, you know, they there's nothing you can do against them. All right, Revelation 13. I want to start at who was like unto the beast. Revelation 13. I'm gonna start at verse 3. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wandered after the beast. What was that old head? The Roman Empire. What kingdom was revived as the Roman Empire, or after the Roman Empire? America, right? Rome fell 300 through 400 AD. Esau Edom was down for 1,000 years, rose up in a Renaissance period. 1300 to 1400 AD. Esau began to hypnotize the minds of the earth, right? Take over inch by inch, into where now he has his glorious America reigning hard over the earth, which has a hypnotic spell on the minds of the people to where they want to come here. They dress like Americans. Oh shoot. They listen to the music, right? They partake in the culture on a day-to-day basis. Verse 4, it says, and they worship the dragon, which gave power unto the beast, and they worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him. Right. The old dragon is Rome. How are they worshiping it? Like I said, by upholding the culture, right? By partaking in the fornications with this place. You know, you'll have a fucking kid from Bangladesh, India. His favorite singer is Michael Jackson. All right? A young girl from fucking Pakistan, right? She comes, or y'all remember that old clip, that chick that climbed up that pole, forget where that was at, twerking on that pole, right? These people worship the image. They drown themselves in the philosophy and the lifestyle of America, which is modeled after all the customs of ancient Rome. It says, who was like unto the beast, who was able to make war with him, right? And they understand that they're not able to topple this government. America, through its technology, through its power, if you come up against it, you'll find yourself in a zip bag. So coming back here, now let's look at some of the people who tried to make war with the beast, who tried to, come up against the beast. And how did they find themselves in the spiritual realm, one way or another? I'm just letting some of these cars pass, y'all. Now, some of these guys were set up, like right here on the left. We know Bin Laden was set up, right? He was a former CIA agent. He's just a fall guy. Nevertheless, some of these people were real individuals who were trying to make a change in their government, who wanted to remove themselves from the central banking system, right? Separate their country from the power of the elites, separate from America's style of democracy. And they found themselves dead. I don't think Watch Mojo will take my video down, but let's see.
Just nose around in a lot of
nation attempts done. Attempts.
Gaddafi was a dashing figure who quickly created a cult of personality, dressed in flashy outfits that bordered on costume.
Drone strikes in Pakistan.
dozens of highly skilled Al-Qaeda commanders, trainers, bomb makers, and operatives have been taken off the battlefield.
Between 2004 and 2018, U.S. drone strikes in Pakistan killed up to 3,500 militants and hundreds of civilians, including children. But these strikes...
Right, so I'm only letting small portions of this play. I'm trying to make sure my video don't get took. So number 10, drone strikes in Pakistan. All right, you have somebody all the way on the whole other side of the planet using a Xbox controller to destroy your entire clan and village. That's some of the powers of the beast. That's why many of these nations knew not to make war with the beast, because you might find yourself blown out the water. Let's check for number 9.
Lasted through 3 tribal regions, but it was
For Afghanistan.
I've seen absolutely nothing. Who rejected his own background in favor of the ideology of Al-Qaeda. Paradox, an American citizen. I've seen absolutely nothing but gratitude for what we are delivering.
Anwar
That guy's full of shit. I've seen nothing but gratitude for what we're delivering. Dude, stop it.
al-Awlaki.
For many,
So this guy named Anwar.
Anwar al-Awlaki was a paradox, an American citizen, Western educated, and fluent in English, who rejected his own background in favor of the ideology of Al-Qaeda.
So this guy was from America. So, he's probably a plant set up, right? But apparently this, come to find out, he was one of the first ones killed with drones. Real drones. Because they call them chariots drones now. I don't accept that. I'm still calling them chariots, UFOs and stuff. That's that newspeak shit.
Born in New Mexico to Yemeni parents, Anwar al-Awlaki was the first American citizen to be targeted and killed by a U.S. drone strike. Al-Awlaki was a cleric and influential figure.
So right there, right? That's number 9. Let's go to the next one. Like I said, I'm just letting y'all see the actual people, because there's some of the famous ones, right? Gaddafi, Patrice Lumumba, but then you have lesser known ones. Okay, right here. Who we got?
Walked out and climbed into a pickup truck. A huge break.
Rafael Trujillo. Rafael Trujillo was a notorious dictator who ruled the Dominican Republic with an iron fist from 1930 to 1961. Under his rule, human rights violations like mass killings, torture, and censorship were rampant. Despite his
ESPN Bet now has profit boosts, so I parlay this money line with these points and total yards. That is boosted.
Despite his extremely far-right ideology, the U.S. initially supported Trujillo due to his anti-communist beliefs and pro-American stance.
The future will crown the brave, the hard-working. working people. And we will walk towards it with confidence, shielded by our commitment to serve humanity.
However, over time, these relations deteriorated, especially when Trujillo tried to assassinate Venezuelan President Romelón Betancourt. The CIA then orchestrated a plot to eliminate him, and in 1961, he was ambushed and killed by Dominican rebels supported by the agency. His death
He was killed by Dominican rebels supported by the CIA. Right. So now, and that's, one thing real quick. I'm not saying that all these guys who America had killed was righteous at all. Obviously not. You can see he was oppressing his people. But every nation has the right to govern themselves. Do they not? Who told the planet Earth that America is daddy on Earth? That the so-called white man who came out of Europe and came over here to the Americas and slaughtered people, who has given them permission to be zaddy, right? To be daddy, to tell everybody what to do. And would we not see such a great, significant kingdom anywhere in the Bible? Would we not see such dominance? Would the Heavenly Father not warn us of this in the end times, that there would come a kingdom like this? Right? We do see it. And we over here, the prophets, here at Great Millstone, we don't have a problem acknowledging it. But these Christians do. Why? Because it highlights their demonic ass ancestors. These Edomite, so-called white anti-Christians. They don't like dealing with this reality. All right? This place that had people, many of people that have been toe tagged behind America. Here it is. Ain't nobody coming in and invading this bitch yet. But coming and, killing these leaders, because the leaders here do wickedness and BS. Biden just let his son off for doing all kinds of shit that many of our grandparents, great uncles and aunties and them is doing 30 years to life for. Come on, man. Get a scripture real quick. This nigga playing goddamn cops and robbers on the earth. He the cop. And all the rest of us are subject to him. Alright, I'm gonna read this real quick. Hey, I'm about to get away from the road here in a minute, and it'll be nice and silent and quiet. So just bear with me a couple more minutes, y'all. But this is Revelation 13. I'm gonna start right at 12. It says, "And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed." Right, so this man, in today's time, America is coming in that same power of ancient Rome. Right? Now, and with that power, with that influence, it has the minds of the people under control. And literally through force, through such sheer oppression, they control these people physically. Right? Through laws and whatnot. And if you break one of these laws, one of these policies, one of these treaties, you will find yourself and or your countrymen no longer alive. But it tells you that he exercises the power of the first beast before him. So now let's go take a look. Let's go take a look at the first beast. What spirit does America come in? Does America roll? Does America, shoot dice with people? Do they play, tic-tac-toe? No. If you don't do what America does, how do they come at you? All right, y'all. Should be good now. Hey, man, this place, you're always so used to being in your car. You never take a minute to be out of it. But cars are extremely noisy, noise pollution. Ain't no wonder birds in the cities have to sing louder. Goddamn, it literally sounds like stomping horses marching past you. Oh, man, Babylon. Anyway, Daniel 7. Back to it, y'all. Start right at it. We're gonna get right at the fourth beast. Daniel 7 and 7. After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. Right. Now, what Daniel was originally seeing right here is Rome. Rome was known for its use of iron, and it's describing its ability to, you know, take over the kingdoms and the peoples and places around it with an unbreakable grip. All right, iron, you smack iron and silver together, that silver is gonna shatter. You smack iron and gold together, that gold's gonna shatter. Right? Iron, oh damn, iron is not the prettiest and shiniest and most expensive of metals, but it is one of the strongest, and that's the spirit that ancient Rome came in, and that's the spirit that America comes in. Remember, this is that beast revived. This is that dragon revived. All right, and it says what? It break in pieces and stamp the residue of the feet. Talking about what? The peoples that it would invade around it. That's the mentality of the Romans. There is no you gonna do me and I'm gonna do, or was it you do you, I'm gonna do me. Now he might say that on paper, right? But Esau comes to spread that democracy, and if you don't agree to his terms, you might end up with a goddamn atomic bomb on you. You understand what I'm saying? You might end up a goddamn shadow slapped onto the back of a goddamn wall somewhere. That's the spirit that he was in under the ancient Roman Empire. That's the spirit that he's in today. So we're seeing how that's his mentality. Either my way or no way. So coming back here, it's no coincidence when these puppets, many of them, because many of these people he's set up, right? But when they get to acting up, when they get to disobeying or going against the policies that he set them up with, he has them assassinated, as we just saw here. Because this guy originally, you know, the king of Dominican Republic or whatever, we just learned that originally he was supported by America, right? But then he started doing something that he wasn't supposed to, and what they do, got him up out of there expeditiously.
Supported by the agency, his death created...
Patrice Lumumba became the Congo's first prime minister after it gained independence in 1960. But he was only in office for a few months before he fell out with the country's former colonial ruler.
The first...
He fell out with the country's former colonial ruler. He was trying to get more rights and freedom for his people. That goes against Esau Edom's MO. Even the Edomites of other countries they all have the same understanding. They might not like each other, but they all have the same understanding. We're at the top. We dominate these other nationalities around us. If anybody goes against us, we fucking take them out and make an example of us. Make an example of them. The British understand that. The French understand that. The Germans understand that. The Americans understand that.
Prime Minister of Congo, Patrice Lumumba was a charismatic and humanist leader who garnered widespread support with his message of unity and self-determination. However, soon after Lumumba took office, an army mutiny broke out, which caused him to seek help from the United States and the UN. With a delayed response from both parties, he turned to the Soviet Union, a move that alarmed the US amid Cold War tensions.
So, you know, he asked for America's help first. Didn't get no help. So he said, okay, I'm going to ask the other white man. And they said, oh, no. Well, if y'all wanted to help me, why didn't y'all come help me sooner? Y'all see this? Come on, man. Hey, man, let me go to play.
Patrice Lumumba's tooth is all that was left of him after he was killed.
Wow. All that was left of him was his tooth. Wow.
Belgium returning it to his family is being welcomed as a first step.
As a result, the U.S. supported a coup led by Colonel Joseph Mobutu, during which Lumumba was captured and executed by firing squad.
Wow. So they supported a coup d'etat, right? Which is French word for overthrowing, right? So here it is. He asked y'all for help first. Y'all don't give him no help. He goes to other people for help, and the other people he didn't go to them to make war against you. He simply went to them for help. And what'd you do? Have him executed. We'll go to the next one. So I'm just letting y'all see real time. So this is ammunition you can add to your arsenal, right? When these motherfuckers hop up in front of you, get to talking that BS. You can, go down the laundry list. Hey, I got whole lists of things like this, y'all. I have whole lists. Don't. You better run to. You can go run up on IUIC and chant that bullshit. You run up over us. You run up to us here at Great Millstone. We gonna destroy you with the facts. 1 second, y'all. Hey, shalom, bro. No, no, I'm good. I just dropped the car off. Yeah, yeah. Shalom, bro. Come on. I see you, bro. All right, y'all. Let it play.
C'est une photo avec mon père. D'ailleurs, dans cette maison, vous voyez, on était, si vous regardez bien, c'était par là mon père me portait.
Salvador Allende.
All resistance inside
Salvador Allende. That's another one. That's another familiar name. That's Salvador Allende.
La Moneda was now at an end. The prisoners were forced out into the street, where firing continued between soldiers and the snipers in the Ministry of Public Works.
In 1970, Salvador Allende became the first democratically elected Marxist president of Chile. However, his election was vehemently opposed by Richard Nixon, who viewed Allende as a threat to U.S. interests in South America. Under
I don't even have to say anything, y'all.
Nixon's administration, the CIA authorized Project Foobelt.
Once again, who made America the good guys and the authority of the earth? Who told you you get to are y'all ruling the world under the authority of the Bible? No.
Operation aimed at destabilizing Chile and removing Allende from power. By 1973, these efforts culminated in U.S.-backed military officials storming the presidential palace to overthrow him. Allende refused to resign and delivered a final radio address emphasizing his commitment to democracy.
His dead body was pulled out from the National Palace during a US-backed military coup that helped define the Cold War.
It is believed that
So right there, Salvador Allende of Chile, and it says he was about democracy. So if he was about democracy, why did he find himself dead? Because he wasn't doing exactly what the beast wanted him to do, right? If you don't bow down to them in every single step, form, and fashion, right? They come to they're gonna make sure your life gets forfeited one way or another. And once again, y'all, who was promised to have this kind of power on the earth? Let me get another one dealing with Rome, because you can grab scriptures dealing with ancient Rome and you can apply them to America. Why is that? Because America is Rome revived. So let me get you an example out of Maccabees. What kind of power did Rome have over the world, which America has today? First Maccabees 8. I'm going to start right at, this is talking about ancient Rome, right? Now Judas had heard of the Romans, right? So that's the first verse. This is talking about the Romans. It's describing them. They were coming up in power after the Greeks. First Maccabees 8 and 11. It says, and it was told him besides, how they destroyed and brought under their dominion all other kingdoms and isles that at any time resisted them. But with their friends and such as relied upon them, they kept friendship, and that they had conquered kingdoms both far and nigh, and so much as all that heard of their name were afraid of them. Also that whom they would help to a kingdom, those reigned, and whom again they displace. Finally, that they were greatly exalted. Right. So if they wanted to take a kingdom out, that kingdom was through, if they weren't friends with you. But if they wanted to raise up a kingdom, right, they were in league with a kingdom, that kingdom would rise and prosper alongside them in amity, in a league of friendship. We've learned now that America would be Rome revived. So what does that mean? America has that same power in the earth today. You're seeing it in these videos. This is the part of history that they didn't want to teach you in school, because it makes America, you get to see this country for what it is, the bully monster on the earth. That's exactly what it is. All right, and we don't have to make up anything or lie. This is not conspiracy theory. This is open, plain, nigga. You can get on daggone Wikipedia and learn all the same information. So let's go back, finish her out.
During a US-backed military coup that helped define
dictatorship that lasted until Knight ended his life with his own rifle, although many
National Palace during a US-backed military coup that helped define the Cold War.
It is believed that he then ended his life with his own rifle, although many still dispute this ruling.
Con Fuente, chileno y cantidad de argentinos.
Terrorize South America in the
Chileno y cantidad de argentinos que iban.
I'm sorry, I'm just making sure I didn't.
Condor.
Ahí nos conocimos todos.
I'm sorry.
In the coup, Chile fell under a repressive military dictatorship that lasted until 1990. Operation Condor.
Ahí nos conocimos todos. Con Fuente, chileno y cantidad de argentinos que iban, intercambiaban presos políticos con el famoso Operación Cóndor.
Operation Condor was a campaign to politically repress and terrorize South America in the 70s and 80s. It began in 1975 and involved the collaboration of numerous right.
These are operations. These are government approved and planned, some and executed operations. Motherfuckers wouldn't put on suits, put on boots, caught flights, got on boats to go do these things that would permanently affect and disable and just destroy an entire country. You send 15 white men into a country and completely destroy a country, y'all. This is the reality of the things that this people has done. I ain't making this up.
Dictatorships, including Argentina, Chile, Bolivia, Brazil, and Paraguay. These governments collaborated closely, shared intelligence that enabled cross-border kidnappings, torture, and executions of suspected opponents.
Wow.
America provided significant financial support, and it resulted in the disappearance of thousands. You suggested that there might
America sent in money to fund it.
Be some kind of American police assistance program down here?
I'm sorry, let me double check the name of this operation too. I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna go back to where we were at. Operation, what was it? Condor. Good. Operation Condor. Mark that down, y'all, if you didn't know. Operation Condor.
Added significant financial support, and it resulted in the disappearance of thousands.
You suggested that there might be some kind of American police assistance program down here?
Legacy still haunts those nations today. And it stands as a frightening example of the lengths the U.S. went to suppress left-wing dissent.
Many of these military regimes had negotiated their own way out of power. Many included a provision of impunity because, of course, the military regime.
Muammar Gaddafi.
Hey, y'all should know the story on him. Yeah, that's a famous one.
يعني أنا ال40 سنة هاي ما يحكمش مانيش في السلطة يعني السلطة للشعب ما فيش حاجة بياخدوها مني أو بيزيدوها
Muammar Gaddafi was a controversial dictator who ruled Libya from 1969 until 2011. He came into power in a coup which overthrew the previous king and established an authoritarian regime featuring a unique blend of socialism and Arab nationalism. During his rule, he regularly violated human rights and supported numerous militant groups around the world, giving him a reputation as a sponsor of terrorism.
Now, that's the part that they give you, right, to make him look like a bad guy, to justify his execution. Once again, I ain't justifying none of these people. They're all heathens. None of them are Yahweh Shai. We're going to show you how to properly rule on the earth. But what they don't tell you is the benefits that he was given for his people. See, America goes around bullying and bulldogging everybody, right? They tell you, in the defense of your freedoms, right? I fought and bled for this country. Well, he set up things for his country. The citizens of his country, when they turned, when couples got married, right? They were given $50,000 grants. They were given free housing. You didn't have to pay for water and electricity over there. Right? He was trying to maintain a gold standard. He wanted to divide from the petrodollar. That's why he's no longer on the planet Earth. Not because there's motherfuckers right now getting people kidnapped and tortured and butchered and slaughtered. But because he came up against the beast system, because he didn't want to comply, he had to die, right? Because there's a whole nother clip I could play. Don't let them run that game on you. Oh, he was doing. America done the same thing all over the world, but he was taking care of his people and his country. and he was trying to become a superpower, and they didn't like that. That's why he's no longer here.
11, the Arab Spring sparked widespread uprisings across the region, including Libya, where it resulted in Gaddafi's government being overthrown.
He created an insular world that he ruled with an iron fist. As you drove through the streets of Tripoli, the capital...
Y'all try to make it... Does not America have pictures of its presidents up everywhere? Does not Mount Rushmore have the faces of 4 white men? Is not a country allowed to celebrate and love their leader? What, only you can? The fucking hypocrisy, man.
His image was everywhere, and he loomed large within even his own family.
The president also delighted.
Most importantly, I'm proud of...
Backed by the U.S. and NATO, Libyan rebels ultimately captured and
So the rebels were backed by the U.S. and NATO, the whore and the beast.
killed Gaddafi in October 2011.
The president.
Yep, so let's fast forward. Let's get a couple more. Really hoping they don't take it, y'all. Fucking scumbags.
Diem.
No in Jim.
Nguyen Diem became South Vietnam's first president after the withdrawal of France from the region. His leadership was strongly supported by the United States due to his staunch opposition to communism. However,
So originally, once again, he was in league, right, with the U.S., but he made a step that they didn't like. And what they do, they got them together.
was an inhumane leader whose regime was marked by repressive policies and the persecution of Buddhists. Seeing his rule as increasingly unstable, the Kennedy administration, through the CIA, ultimately sanctioned a group of South Vietnamese generals to stage a coup. This November
CIA, boy.
1963 coup proved successful, and Diem and his brother were eventually captured and assassinated.
Diem and his brother, Ngo Dinh Nhu, had fled the palace in disguise. They were later captured, only to die in an armored car that was taking them to prison.
The event only deepened the regional instability, leading to a succession of weak governments and...
Look at that building. That's a political office, y'all. When's the last time you've seen a political office like that in America that another country calls? You haven't. This man is going around bullying everybody, y'all. So you see the pride that is puffed up in these people. That's why these people believe that they're untouchable. But that's why the Heavenly Father says that it's going to come this way, man. And these people are not going to be ready for it because they've had this mental barrier of invincibility. Isaiah 47:8. Therefore now hear this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. Right. This is the mindset and the aura that America has developed because they're not waking up dodging shells. They're not having to, send their children off, hoping that their child don't get blew to smithereens just trying to go to school. This devil has become proud here, but for these very same reasons, this is going to be the fuel that these other nations have in the back of their mind to come make war with this place and to wipe it off from the map. People are tired of going through things like this, y'all, behind this motherfucker America. So they're about to bring that heat here.
To a succession of weak governments
Would be very good for us.
Che Guevara. What a very recognizable face.
Che Guevara.
I think harmonious relations with the U.S. would be very good for us. From the economical point of view, more than in any other field.
One of the key figures in the Cuban Revolution, Che Guevara was instrumental in helping Fidel Castro overthrow the U.S.-backed regime of Fulgencio Batista in 1959. He soon became an advocate for spreading socialism worldwide, leading guerrilla efforts in Africa and Latin America. After getting involved in the Congo crisis, Guevara moved to Bolivia to ignite a rebellion against the government.
So he was going around trying to free Southern American countries and helping out with African countries, right? Trying to break the grips of the oppressor. And he met the same destiny that anyone who came up against this beast met. And ultimately, this is all prophecy, y'all. Because if any of these people succeeded just a bit, America wouldn't have the stronghold, wouldn't have the grip that it has over the world today. right? We see, I'm sorry, how could I forget? America would not have been able to get to this point here in Revelation, is that 18? The sauce upon many waters. America had to develop a foothold throughout all the world, whether physically or at least in its spiritual presence. You know, even for certain countries, they might not have American troops in their grass, but they know you bet not. they, hey, they know they know to follow the rules, right? Let me see right there. Okay, right there, and then I want to get waters where the whore sitteth. Right. Okay, good. Let me get that. Yep, verse 1, then we'll jump down. Revelation 17:1. It says, and there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying, saying unto me, come hither. I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. Right, America is that whore. EU, NATO is that beast that through its power, through its might, keeps everybody in control. In the ancient world, it was Rome ruling through its 10 vassal states. Now it's become America ruling through the EU, NATO, which began as 10 countries, right? 1958. Treaty of Rome, conveniently called, right? Originally, began as the EEC, European Economic Community, and now has evolved into EU, NATO. It started as 10 countries. It's like 28 now or something like that, rolling over all these different places in the earth. Revelation 17:15. What are those waters? And he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. Right. So the waters represents the peoples of the earth, the different nations that this beast has power over, under command of the whore. Which the elites don't live in America, but America is the cornerstone. It's what they use, right? Verse 16, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Right. So America's allies are soon about to turn on it. The very system that it used to oppress the world with is about to turn on it. All right, that's going to be the culmination of the World War III, and then ultimately the missiles. They're going to shoot nukes back at this bitch. Verse 17, right? Says, for the power, for Yahweh hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree, and give their kingdom unto the beast, until all the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. So this had to happen, y'all. These people, America was given its time to rule. Everybody bowed down, and events happened throughout history to make sure that America stayed on top. So people had to get assassinated. This is biblical prophecy. If your so-called leader, if your camp leader, if your pastor can't break these things down to you, then you need to leave them alone, because they're a false prophet and the Holy Spirit is not dealing with them.
He struggled to gain local support. His insurgency was soon cornered by the Bolivian army, with support from the CIA, which sought to curb communist influence in Latin America. In October 1967, Guevara was captured and executed under orders from the Bolivian government with CIA approval. His death turned him into a martyr for revolutionary causes worldwide.
So keep in mind, Che was, that was, what's my man's name, man? Cuba. How could I be forgetting his fucking name? Castro. That was Castro's man. So here it is, the U.S. had, Castro's man put down. Why do you think Castro was so against America for so fucking long? Come on, man. Hey, that's a famous picture. That's that's the young Northern Kingdom, man. He was a rebel. In which he'll be all right in the kingdom. He was going about it the wrong way. We're subject to prophecy. But that's the spirit of Jake. He was trying to get up and do something. It just wasn't that time.
Before we continue, be sure to 2011 Operation Neptune Spear, a covert military
Osama bin Laden didn't communicate with his Al-Qaeda associates for 3 years because
Osama bin Laden.
She says Osama bin Laden didn't communicate with his al-Qaeda associates for 3 years because he was on the run. It's still unknown exactly where he was hiding.
In 2011, Operation Neptune Spear, a covert military operation, successfully located and assassinated Osama bin Laden, the al-Qaeda founder and mastermind behind the September 11th attacks. Bin
Okay.
Laden evaded capture for nearly a decade, but the CIA eventually tracked him down to a compound in Abbottabad, Pakistan. Osama! President Obama dispathical aspects of the killing remain controversial. It was a major victory for the U.S., ending the reign of the world's most notorious terrorist.
Okay, that right there. So what makes this man the world's most wanted world terrorist? What makes him that? Because he attacked America? So then by process of an elimination, that means that America is the king of America is the ruling country on the planet, is it not? See, that's that stuff. You Christians, you so-called white folk, you Edomite, you don't like to deal with that reality. You don't even know what you're saying when you're making statements like that. You're saying you better not never out of all the places you could do something, you better not never touch America. Because if you do this, what are we gonna do to you? Hoorah! Right? That type of spirit. So you could find this nigga in a cave across the country, across the planet, excuse me, but you can't find them 400,000 missing kids that go missing every year for decades on end. We can't find them babies, but we can find an Arab nigga in a cave system without internet across Earth. Earth with a F, not TH. Oh man, this dude is something else, y'all. But that's the spirit that he comes in. We run this show. We touch you. You don't do nothing or touch us. We the boss, right? Do what we say or die. That's the spirit that they come in. And that's you Christians, y'all try to, America's the bad guy, not the good guy. Esau, even the so-called white man, is the bad guy of the earth, not the good guy. They try to spin it, but it is what it is. So really, I don't need much more out of that. And come to find out, when you know your stuff, Osama he worked for the CIA. So, we all know that the 9/11 thing was, it served its purpose. It was a setup. But I brought all this out to show you, America's a big hypocrite, man. This guy, he tells you that he's for democracy. He's for peace and love. The so-called white man love Jesus. Everybody just needs to love Jesus. And then he sends in. So while one Edomite is in front of you telling you to love Jesus, he sends in a squadron of 12 other Edomites, right, so-called white men, in 3 sets of 4 teams, right, running in a diamond formation to come assassinate you and overthrow your government. That's how they do you, y'all. One speaking sweet, the other one got the sword in his hand. Psalms 55 and 21. But that's about it, y'all. Just wanted to run y'all through that ringer, man. Don't be fooled by this guy. All right, don't be fooled by this guy. And give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham. Rakakurash, the honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all the elect Achim wa Akwath, learning, teaching, and truth and sincerity. Shalom.